What's going on, guys? It's the Music Marketing Mafia coming back at you guys again with another episode. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about booking agents and booking your own shows as an artist. Um, Booking and performing, like we talked about in the second episode, is going to be a very, very important part of marketing yourself, getting yourself in front of people so you can get content, you can win over new fans that way. It is extremely, extremely important. Depending on where you are as an artist changes a lot. So if you're just starting out, you're gonna have to grind out every last opportunity that's gonna come your way, whether that be little bar shows, coffee shops, opening slots. You're gonna have to grind. You're gonna have to email. You're gonna have to be foot on the ground. Majority of the time, trying to take every little opportunity that you can get. When you start to kind of get a little bit bigger and you start to have a little bit of pull, then you can start talking about the booking agent. I recommend artists not try to reach out to booking agents until they have completely taken over their own market. They can sell out their own shows, because at that point, you're just going to get booked to different venues that aren't, like, you're not going to sell as many tickets. And you can obviously reach out to these venues yourself and see if there's not like support tours and other ways for you to get added onto these bills. But a booking agent, you got to be able to have the demand for the booking agent to even do their job. So I highly recommend you make sure that your numbers are in line and that you're absolutely crushing your hometown. Then I would start to go out to maybe neighboring states or like 2 hours away. That's a whole different market. You're going to touch onto those people. When you start going through that and you start selling those venues out, then you can start moving up to the next level. Booking is definitely a tedious process. You're going to have to know a lot of people. You're going to have to keep pushing because it is a very competitive market. Everybody's trying to get booked right now, depending on what the show is. And you just have to make sure that you are giving yourself the best opportunity to get as many shows as possible. Putting together a really nice EPK is going to be very, very important. I don't recommend it being like 17 pages long, but maybe like a page or two, just some important details about yourself, stats, and be honest with booking agents and promoters. Like if you're lying to them about how many tickets and people you can bring, it's just going to look awful and it's going to come back to hurt you in the end. So be honest with them how many tickets you think you're able to sell. I would even shoot a little bit on the lower side so that you know exactly where you're going to be able to bring coming into it, because these promoters more than likely end up promoting for different shows and different venues. So they're like kind of the gateway to getting into new opportunities. So if you're already pissing them off and giving them lies and a bunch of people, and obviously, yeah, bad shows can happen, but being on the general side of say, hey, we normally bring this amount of people can be very, very, very important. I highly recommend you start looking into and reaching out to other venues that maybe not everybody's hitting. Sometimes there's less competition here. You really got to start thinking outside the box when it comes to booking shows, because everybody's going to be going for the same exact slots. You're going to have to somehow either separate yourself or go a little bit different of a route. In terms of branding, your branding is going to be extremely important. This comes in with the EPK, and I cannot stress this enough. Color scheme, fonts, looking professional, the way you present yourself to these booking agents. Now, you don't need a giant million-page book, but having a couple of links and photos in an email can go a really, really long way with a booking agent. They respond a lot faster when they don't have to spend 17 hours reading your stuff, and they might not even read it all to begin with. So I highly recommend just putting the important stuff in there and then kind of working from there. Support shows is probably an episode we're going to talk about later on down the line, but I'll touch on it a little bit right now. Support, when you're first starting out, is going to be your basically your key and your gateway to get into bigger slots and getting good with these club promoters. Being able to bring even 20 or 30 people can go a really long way with these bands, or not even just bands, but these acts. And then if they like you as a support and they like your music, then who knows how many other shows they'll put you on going forward. So overall, it's changed a lot. You can still definitely get shows on your own, but having a booking agent can definitely be important as well. It's really just about the grind and making sure that you are able to put yourself in a spot to where you're able to showcase your music and showcase who you are as an artist with being able to get shows that match the spot that you are in your music career. So I hope this episode was beneficial for you guys. In the next video, we are going to be talking about Submit Hub.